Hello, in this video I will review the RHM Panzerkampfwagen, the Tier 10 German light tank. So I am driving out on Karelia and I'm just going to my spotting damaging position with a decent speed of 75 kilometers per hour. So I'm just going here, I'm spotting the enemy Manticore, this is very good. So already know where he is, getting one shot into him for 308 damage. And he's getting even more distracted. I'm loading HE. Hitting this one. Let's see, he lost HP. And finishing him off. So therefore with that we countered the enemy light tank. Artillery wanted to shoot us so much. So now we are able to spot. This tank spotting ability is pretty great. It has a great view range. And with optics you can have about 530 meters. I even think that's a bit too much. Because equipment wise, if you don't put on the optic it's a bit too less, but if you put on the optics, well, then you don't need so much. The camo on this tank is not the best out of the light tanks. It is about 42% base and sorry, and with everything maxed out you can get it up to 45. So you see here I'm getting penetrating the Hori into its side with HE shells. And you also maybe saw that I'm carrying a lot of HE. And that is because it has 420 alpha damage. Well, not from the alpha damage wise, you may think it's not the best alpha damage, but the base shells have 320, so it's 100 more. And they have 420 millimeters of penetration. So that's a very good penetration for HE shells. So 120, I think this is one of the best and normal standard HE penetrations in the game. There's a Minotauro that's 130, but this is a light tank that has 120 millimeters of penetration with HE shells. The only downside of the HE shells are that they're only flying about 800 meters per second with the shell velocity perk, and you mainly have the shell velocity perk, crew perk, only because of the HE. The other shells, well, 1352 meters per second. Penetration 242, but the loss is really big, so 194 at 500 meters. And the gold amount 280. This is good, this is pretty good for a light tank. So the EBR has much less, I think 240. With gold ammunition, this one has 280. Sorry, 80. And also the shell velocity is fine with 1000 meters per second. I'm getting spotted by the Batchet, this is not good. Well, not even the Batchet, but the RHM that drove down. And I'm getting shot once, but I'm also shooting him. So you may just think, well, what is the advantage of this tank to a Manticore? Well, it's definitely the gun. So I told you about the gun. Here I'm again getting spotted. The RHM, yes, he's shooting a HE. And he's also getting spotted. Hitting this one. So it's a gun. Its stabilization is very nice. And also to add, the gun was like buffed. I don't know how many updates before, but it was buffed. So 1 year ago it wasn't the tank it is now. And the gun, well, it is a good DPM gun, 2600, and with gun rammer 3000, and with gun rammer energy shell 4000. So the DPM is pretty good for a light tank, the aiming time is great, accuracy is fine one. Here I think I will get the chance to kill the IS-7, yes, and I'm killing the IS-7. So the gun is its primary advantage to the other LTs. Also one-shotting artillery here. So you see I already dealt 4000 damage. And oh, I'm missing this one. So this is a really great advantage of this tank, that this tank can do something good on maps like Tundra and do not have to suffer as much as a Manticore on maps like Tundra and like Empire's Border. So this tank has really a decent gun. And it has the best gun out of the LTs. Here I'm just trading for damage. And I'm just going out again. He's reloading, putting 360 damage into his lower plate. And to sum it up, the mobility is also good, the spotting, the view range is great, and the camouflage is a bit below the other LTs, like top LTs, I mean the Manticore. But otherwise, this tank is great just because of its gun. Also, the worth noticing is this tank is pretty big, so it's pretty easy to hit it. That's one disadvantage. Here the 121B is driving. Somehow I am not penetrating him, even though I was aiming right in the middle of his lower plate. But that's the game it is, with that accuracy. So that's it for this battle. In this battle I dealt 5,764 damage, 4,600 assists, and 3 kills. So that's an ace tanker for 1,277 experience. 20 shots, 17 penetrations, that's pretty nice. The battle was fast, but still I got a good result, I think, out of this battle. So overall, to sum it up, it is a great light tank for me personally. But, well, if you're rather a new player and you are looking for a light tank, your first light tank, then this isn't like the light tank you have to go for. You should rather go for a Manticore. But if you have like the Manticore T100 LT, then you should definitely go for this tank, because this tank can be fun with dealing out the damage but also spotting. As for equipment, I would use the standard light equipment with exhaust system, optics, and commander vision system. And secondly, I would use a rammer, exhaust system, and a ventilation. And this is for maps like Tundra, Airfield, and Kimmelsdorf, like all those maps that don't really have bushes and you normally don't really spot on. Here for modernization I would choose this, here I would choose this, or just nothing if you are not hitting your shots. Here I would buff the concealment. This is what I'm meaning with maxing out. You see 45 now. And here I would use behind to decrease the concealment of tanks behind foliage. And here I would just choose nothing, so you keep the good river speed. As for crew perks, I would use those perks and then coordination. Here I would also use those perks and then armor. And here I would use those perks and then clutch braking. And that's it for this video. Like and subscribe, and bye.